All right, so another day, another story, let's just call it that. I'm literally having the most productive day early today, so when I get done, I wrap up my notebook and decide I'm gonna go ahead and just walk home. But in walking, having such clarity, I decided that I would instead like to go to the cliff that I discovered when on a walk. I guess days earlier. I'm not sure if it's a week earlier or days earlier, but I was walking, met someone who invited me to the cliff, to go and view the cliff and all the things. And I was just reminded of that today. Not that I need clarity, but that I have clarity, and it is something that I would enjoy. And so I take myself home first to check on things, and then I keep my folding chair with me because I know I'm about to go to this waterfront. And there are park benches, but the park benches are wet. So I'm sitting now, and actually there was this gentleman trying to get his foot in the door. And so that's actually how I got here. I didn't walk here. I rode here. And he sat a little while with me, just kind of taking in the view. He left moments earlier, just a few seconds, literally like minutes maybe, earlier than I decided that I would also go ahead and head out. But as I am folding up my folding chair, the rain starts coming in. So I ran up to the closest awning that I saw. I was like, okay, I could stand here with my belly up against the glass door until the rain stops, or I can go ahead and step inside because this door is open. Okay. So I stepped inside, and I was like, I'm pretty sure before I stepped inside or even checked the door, I was like, I'm pretty sure I can't go inside. I'm pretty sure there is some type of security feature on this door. But when it was wide open, I noticed that I was able to go in because there is a security feature on the door inside of that door. So I essentially was standing there kind of pacing back and forth waiting on the rain to stop, but decided to take out my folding chair and have a seat. So I'm in my folding chair, I'm looking out the window, literally anticipating the rain to end so that I can get back on my trail. And a gentleman who actually works here, maintenance guy, pool guy, I don't know who, comes running through the door. I see him afar off and open the door. I didn't open the door for him. Moved out of his way. Next thing you know, some guy comes up to me saying to me, we can't actually sit here, and then starts asking those really incriminating questions like, who are you here to see? As if, even if he were the office manager, he knows every single person who rents in every apartment in this big ass building. Okay, right? Every single person all the way around this building. And I'm just tired of that. Same thing happened this morning at McDonald's. I wrote about it, and I'm getting ready to post the review online, but like, it's unacceptable for me to show up to McDonald's at 6 o'clock this morning, fully anticipating to buy my breakfast. I decided I wanted to do two things first this morning, okay? I wanted to go ahead and plug my phone into the wall and make sure that it's charging. And then I want to go ahead and wash my hands. Well, then I want to go ahead and use the restroom before placing my order, because I like to have clean hands even before the order's placed, so that when it's ready I go to my seat and I'm good to go. I'm not like, hold that for me, let me go to the restroom, right? So I never took my seat, and I was not in here more than 5 minutes. Left hand to God. Okay. I am literally standing here anticipating. The first thing that the person says to me is, do you have a mobile order? I shook my head in disagreement. Continued to try to get my phone to turn on and all that good stuff, because it will charge on charge when it's off sometimes, other times it won't. Anyway, and seconds later, coming out of the restroom, she says, are you going to place an order? Standing behind the counter, and I am standing, and I'm at the table, and I'm at my table selection. There is someone at the kiosk in between us, and she is yelling directly to me to ask me if I'm going to place an order. It's like, well, yeah, I plan on it, but am I at the register? Okay, so now I'm like, maybe I won't. Right? She starts she says something like, you don't have to be nasty about it, but then like completely like flips in her mind some switch that says, I was asking because I was going to give you a free coffee. Where are you now? Well, if that was your intention, I'll take that coffee. Yeah, I'll accept that. I said I was going to have a coffee included with my meal. I typically get the $5 meal. I said I was going to have a coffee included with my meal. She said, well, you can do that. I was like, well, if you're going to give it to me for free, I'll take the coffee and I'll add on later. Like, right, that was my decision. But I was in the middle of my decision, as a matter of fact, between like, okay, at this point, having been disrespected and singled out once again, I'm not sure if I'm going to take my money and take it to another restaurant or not. Okay, even with the coffee, because I'm like, the way she's switching up, and now this guy is offering me, well, you want to go in the front and stand in front of the awning? It's like, that should have been the first thing out of your mouth. You're not about to treat me like this and then turn around and say, oh, I had very good intentions. Oh, I was very well meaning. No, you weren't. You never were. Okay, so for both of them, like, I am going to allow you both, right, to make that correction, because you should, right? You should end on a good note. You should always be looking in the right direction. You should always do the good thing at the end of the day. But if I were you, I would just kind of take a breath to make sure that the last thing that you're going to say is the first thing. And that's all I'm saying. So I'm going to make good sure that I don't get this treatment anymore about documenting you guys, not just here, but actually contacting your employers. But thank you for trying to turn it over. I just hate that I was the one on the bad end of the stick, and at the end of on the other end of your very what do you call it? Your generous offer. I'm not faulting you for trying to turn things around and feeling really bad, but you have to understand that it's me that you're making feel bad when you don't think before you speak. And I'm not going to be on the other end of it anymore. Make this the last day. If it's raining like it just was, that should have been the first thing you said. I can offer you to stand over here. Okay. So it seems like there's no change unless I go live. So that's what this is. It has stopped raining and I'm back on my trail. I mean, I can see if it were not raining. You know what I mean? Like, but it literally was raining cats and dogs. You had no consideration for that. But the only thing you had consideration of is, what is she doing here and why? And how can I get her out? And all this other kind of incriminating bullshit. I'm sick of it. And it has to stop today.